Hi, Sherinata here, and I just wanted to share with you what's been going on lately. And if you've been experiencing, especially a couple weeks ago, a lot of emotional shifts in your life, massive physical shifts, even where things are very, very intense, maybe relationships or massive decision making, there's a reason for it. And there's been a lot of stress. A lot of people are feeling this stress. And here's one thing to remember is that oftentimes when you feel like the world is coming down on you, it's not just you. And it's not just what you're doing. So always don't blame yourself for every single thing that's happening. But what you have to be aware of is that there's a lot of energies taking place out there in the world. You have the planets shifting, you have moons rising, you have tide shifting, you have everything going on that's happening. You have the world is evolving, and so are you. So as the world evolves, we evolve, and then we revolve as well. So this is what's been going on, just so you have an idea. We had a full moon a couple weeks ago. The full moon was very intense. I guess they called it a sturgeon moon and a green corn moon. But whatever, it doesn't really matter what it was. It's always been called by the ancient Indians and in the past. What matters is that there's a lot of energies that were happening because that full moon was coming right upon the Mercury retrograde. And when there's a Mercury in retrograde, I'm not actually an astrologist, but I work with energy, and I can feel the energy shifting. And a lot of times we think it's us and we're going crazy. Well, we are going crazy because there's the intensity of what's happening with the Mercury in retrograde. It's shifting us in our life. So what happened, at least with me, is that I went from a full moon with a lot of things that were happening. The full moon was right there telling me, it's like massive manifesting, massive shifts were changing, massive energies. When there's a full moon, you think of, that's why they always said in the past that werewolves are howling and, and what happens is that they even say that the hospitals, the emergency rooms get really busy on full moons because the energy is very intense. And it kind of plays with our energy field. So the same thing was happening in my life, and I didn't understand it. And I realized, wow, this is some full moon because I had business relationships that were falling apart, and I didn't understand why. But there's always a reason, and that's what you have to remember. Things just don't happen because they're not meant to happen. Everything happens for a reason. We look for the lessons and the growth out of it. So in order to come back out of it, we're riding it into a Mercury retrograde. When you head into retrograde, you want to finish all the crazy stuff because everything is going to be revealed to you. You're going to crash and burn if you don't. There's a lot of revelations during Mercury retrograde, and if you don't understand it, look it up. Go to any website, just Google it. You'll find so much information about what happens because the Mercury retrograde, it plays with the intensity also of the energy. It's also working with the illusion that Mercury is going backwards, but it's really not. In the meantime, our life feels like it's falling apart, but it's really not because it's really an illusion. Because what's really going on here is that it's affecting us and showing us our truth about everything, because out here is the illusion and here is the inner truth. So I've been putting off, and here's just an example. I have been putting off speaking in front of. I speak on a lot of in front of a lot of groups, but not big stages, not huge stages, and not in front of social media, just like this. So I've been putting it off forever. For some reason, I was scared. It's not like I haven't done video or I talk. I'm always talking about something. And everybody says, Sherinata, how come you don't do social media and do all these live feeds and live tubes and YouTubes and Facebooks and Periscopes? And I said, I don't know. I was just scared, I guess. I didn't want to go forward with it. I was fear. So the funniest thing happened, but really I was very upset. I've been crying. I was so upset. I'm like, why is this happening? Why are these business relationships falling apart? Why, my computer crashed. I had even my house was burned down from the Florida Power and Light situation that was happening. It wasn't something with the wiring. I mean, it was crazy stuff happening. And then the place that I do my workshops, out of the blue, they just decided to close. And I've been doing my workshops there for forever. I've been a part of their life for 6 years. And then all of a sudden when they told me this the other day, I was crushed. I'm like, what am I going to do? And then it dawned on me, what am I going to do? I'm going to be here on social media and get on a bigger stage, a larger stage. So you guys can hear what it is that everybody asks me all the time. Sherinata, go out and talk and be out there to teach people. So it was really scary for me to make the first step to do even just this video, which is really so simple to do. And I don't know, I'm not scared now, but I was so scared 2 weeks ago for whatever it was, the energies. I just didn't want to go forward with it. And then, you know what? When it's meant to happen, it is. The truth is, when you want to know the truth, when you want to move forward, it's time. And when you feel like the world is crashing on you, look for the little signs in between. Look for your lessons. Were you overwhelmed and why? Close your eyes and stop for a minute and look at your truth inside. Listen to what's going on. What is your higher self trying to tell you? Because there's a reason why you're overwhelmed, because you're blocking something, you're scared of something, you don't want to face something. That's the only reason why we get into overwhelm, because we're shutting ourselves down, we're pushing things away. So when you get into overwhelm, whether you want to blame it on anything else, one thing I can never put up with is victim mode. So when I feel like the world is crashing down on me, which happens because I'm a human being, guess what? I internalize, I go in, I find out what's going on, where the answers are. Because when you're able to connect and you open up, then the answers are there. Everything is there in the silence. We are here as magical beings from creation. We are part of God in this amazing universe. We have the answers inside of us and out there. But we have to get out of the chaos to tune in to this peace and quiet. And how many times do you do that during the day? Ask yourself. So the next time you get into overwhelm, and yes, Mercury Retrograde is going on. It's going to end on the 22nd of August. Thank goodness. But you know what? We'll work through it. So know that every time there's a Mercury Retrograde, and especially with the full moon going into this, if you have been experiencing, crazy things in your life that are not normal to you, know that there's a reason for this, that there's a reason for change, that when one door closes, another one opens up, and you look for the opportunities in your life. Your life is going to go where where you focus your energy on. That's the way it goes. If you focus your energy on the negative and you never look for the opportunities, you're going to stay in the negative. So with that being said, tune in, look for the brighter side, look for the opportunities, look through the cracks, because even when there's all this thick, heavy nonsense that's going on, that the world is crumbling down on you, know that even when it's crumbling, there's cracks of light. And in those cracks of light are opportunities, and that's where your lessons are. That's where you focus, and your attention goes where that focus is, and that's where the energy is, and that's where you go. So know that there's always an opportunity on the other side of the obstacles in the way. If you can't do it yourself, look for help, look for guidance. You can always sign up. If you're not even used to meditating or being in silence, I'm telling you, that's where the answers lie. You can always go to my website, go to Sherinata.com, and I have Sunday Morning Bliss every Sunday morning. It's free. You will get it in your email, no obligations, and begin to start releasing and start tuning into the magic. They're quick meditations. Everything I do is fast because everything we do in this life is pretty fast, especially in America. So we're always moving forward in crazy ways, always having to stop and slow down and take a breath of fresh air. Stop and smell the coffee. So my friends, with that being said, tune into the magic, tune into who it is that you are meant to be. Know that you don't need to play victim in this world anymore. And know that sometimes it's not always your fault that everything is falling down, but it's there for a reason. It's presented to you. Take a step back, breathe through it, know that you're going to get through it, and know that there's a reason for everything. Look for your opportunities. Signing off, go ahead, join me anytime at Sherinata.com. Go sign up for Sunday Morning Bliss and free meditations every Sunday morning in your email. They're always only less than 30 minutes and messages that will change your life forever. Have a fantastic day, and I am so looking forward to doing more videos for you in the near future.